ride!
There we go. Okay, right, we're back again. The Crystal Mage. Okay, so when we last left our adventurers, they were in the town of Waybrook. You can all remember this is where we went on our shopping tour.
Right.
Mental note for DM: don't do shopping tours on Zoom.
Day one.
Yeah. Which actually I learned with that other venture that we were running, Tracy, where I just said, no, you've already got your equipment. You don't have to worry about going to buy it.
That's right.
But anyway. So, so everyone has purchased most of their equipment. I mean, if you anything you've forgotten and you've still got some cash you want to spend, you can still go and do some shopping. But now, just as a recap, now you were given it some information at the Falling Star by the proprietor, the collector, as he was called, Garen, I think his name was, to about a village to the north of you guys, called Deeping Vale, I think was the name of the place. I can show you the village, the map.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
So you can see here, we're here in Waybrook here. You can see this map, I'm assuming. Good. And he's giving you directions, and essentially we want to get to this place here, which is Deeping Vale. So it's about a 3-day trip northwest of Waybrook. There we are. And there's some goings on over there. There has been some rumors of, I think the word goblins was mentioned at some point. This is like your shakedown cruise, whatever you want to call it, to go then see how you go as on your first adventure. One thing that you might want to consider doing is maybe hiring some retainers.
Shopping for people. No, wait. I just...
Shopping for people. Let's go shopping. It's not slavery, Tracy.
Yeah, I know. I realized how bad that sounded as soon as I said it. Can we cut that out?
Yes, on today's show, slavery.
What's the Brad?
Leechness, yeah. Oh, man.
Haven't done that in years.
Well done, Tracy. That's good. Edit point.
Yeah, like, please no. Please no.
You're just
Okay.
on
Insert
YouTube.
appropriate political correct reference here now.
Didn't even think as I said it. Okay, moving on.
Okay, so anyway, you want to hire, possibly, if you decide, some additional retainers or people. So yeah, it's up to you guys. Basically, what are you wanting to do next? So you're all basically standing in a town square looking at each other going, what do we do?
I'm trying to get Wi-Fi in this place.
Yeah.
Can I get a brief rundown of what you guys do? Well, I mean, I know you're a bard, but and other than that, like, what do you guys do?
I like to read.
Yeah, because you've all kind of relatively new to each other. You've only met in a bar and have been going shopping.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great Friday night to me. Met in a bar, I went shopping.
I guess my point is, if I know what you guys do, then I'll know whether I feel comfortable and like we've got enough sort of like muscle or healing power, because neither of those things are things I'm good at. And
I buy and sell people for fun, Tracy.
I realized what I wanted to say sounds quite suspicious, because I was about to say I entertain elite clientele for the right price, and I realized exactly what that sounds like.
Now that we know what you are, we're just haggling over price.
I also procure rare and valuable items for said clients.
So we've now gone into slavery, human trafficking.
Oh my god.
Possibly prostitution.
Oh, getting banned off YouTube, aren't we?
Please tell me we're gonna cut all of this. Like, I really don't want that out there.
Get it all
I really
out of the system. Let's just get it out.
This is all going on the tape. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
It's been going on too long now. We can't edit it. I'm sorry.
Yes, we can.
Hard and a
Called
thief.
editing.
Hard and a thief.
Okay.
It's going to be like a 5-second video.
Also, I feel like this is going to keep coming back, so...
Okay, so when we last left our intrepid explorers, they were standing in the town square looking at, after going shopping, and were deciding what they wanted to do next. So, Ada, the Wi-Fi password is Waybrook Wi-Fi.
So, can I just ask, because I apologize, I might have had maybe 1 or 2 drinks, and I don't remember what you guys do. I mean, obviously you're a bard, but I mean, other than that, I don't.
What gave it away? The loot on my back?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a bard, but for the right price, I will also procure rare and valuable items of a
All right.
potentially dubious nature. I'm a thief.
All right.
I'm making some things that doesn't exist.
All right.
And I just learned how to use a knife 2 hours ago.
Yeah, the pointy end goes in the
Use the
bad
pointy end.
Wow, we're all so dying on this mission. Who brought her along?
Yeah.
I can draw a map from memory with my hand, and I can sometimes talk to animals, but mostly I just like to kick ass.
Okay.
Kick butt.
Likes to kick ass, but are you any good at it?
I have yet to kick a butt.
Oh my lord. We're all going to die.
And
From our incredibly intimidating, scaly friend.
I've raised myself on the street, so I've been in a fight or two, and I'm looking to go on a bit of an adventure, and I'm developing cleric, learning to heal people, those I choose to heal.
Oh, all right. Okay, so, and I mean, not that anybody asked, but I'm carrying around this huge book, so I do magic, but I'm gonna be honest, I kind of am useless. I've got like 1 a day, and that's it, and I'm done. So,
One shot.
yeah, I have stabbed a few things in my day. They were all fruit, but like I feel like it's like the same thing, right? Similar healing, maybe.
Oh, you're in the same boat. I can do 1 spell a day too.
Oh.
Here.
Jesus, Murphy, we're all gonna die. Okay. Well, okay. I'm going to die. Speaking as someone who's wearing 0 armor, I'm the smallest, and kind of squishy. I'm going to die.
How are you on hit points?
What? I don't know what
How
that
are you on
is.
hit?
I don't know what
Oh.
that is.
We are all
yes.
going to die.
I suggest we find some people who we could buy to die for us.
I don't want them to die. I feel like we could maybe not suggest that they're gonna die, and maybe they'll just protect us.
It wouldn't be the
And-
best recruitment slogan.
Yeah, I mean, no offense. I know I can see that you've got your own way of doing things. You know, big corners and all.
Join us. Certain death appeals.
Yeah.
Come die for us. Brought to you by the U.S. Army.
How fast do you run? I'm not very fast. You're hired.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody who, I mean, no offense to Freyord, but as a learning cleric, you probably don't have a lot of ability to heal people yet, right?
Not a lot, no.
So maybe somebody who could also like heal. I don't know, like a paladin or like a priest.
Nobody bought a potion?
I did.
You,
I
there
think.
you go, thinking ahead. I like it.
But like that's one. Wait, did I buy a potion? Oh my god, I forgot to buy a potion. Oh no, not a potion, but it's like really, it's a really.
You got
sorry.
some, you got some what was it, Mandrake? Was it Osdale's?
Osgood's potion.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's they said it was. I can't remember if it's a he or she. I have a terrible memory. I forgot I had the potion until it kind of clinked against my hip there. But it's not very strong. Like we're not talking bring people back from the dead. So I feel like we need like, I'm gonna say it. We need heals and we need like some muscle or some like, you know, shield people. Like we need
shields.
I don't like that term. Who said that anyway? Is somebody
Voice in the back of
listening
your-
to our
voice in the back.
conversation?
Voice in the back of your head.
Oh, why does it sound like a man? That's so weird.
If I'm going to be narrating in the back of you, I should sound like Morgan Freeman, shouldn't I?
And that's when Andy found his way.
But they all died.
Hey, no. All right, so I have never hired anybody before. Do you guys have some sort of like experience hiring people? Like an interview process, or do we put this out on monster.dnd?
Craigslist.
Maybe
Waybrook.
maybe the person who hired us also know people we can hire.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It's a very good
You
idea.
We should go ask Gogan.
You could do that, yeah, definitely.
Oh, Rongrim, maybe he might know.
Well, most people looking for jobs, adventurers for hire, retainers as they like to be called, can be found at any sort of drinking establishment normally. So, of which there are 3 in Waybrook. Obviously, the Falling Star is the one where we met Gergen, the collector, who has given you this job to do. We also have the Thirsty Goblin and the Black Buck. So you're in the town square at the moment. So you're kind of centrally located. You can go in either direction. If you want to go back to Gergen, you can go to the Falling Star.
Which one did they say was? Yeah, which one did they say was the most sort of like? Well, we were in the one that wasn't so great, right?
The Falling Star was the more upmarket one.
Okay.
And Thirsty Goblin and Black Buck are probably equivalent to each other.
Ada, you said you got a good feeling about the Black Buck.
I don't know about a good feeling, but change of scenery might be nice.
Anything that you say about gathering people, I'm gonna listen to, because I'm not good at gathering people. Animals, but not people. Some animals.
Cool. All right,
All right.
so we're going to the Black Buck then, are we?
Hi.
Okay. So you enter the Black Buck Tavern.
So I'm walking down the street, I start singing, hi ho, I hope. Sorry, that's the thing my people do. Sorry.
Okay, the Black Buck. You enter the Black Buck, where you are greeted by the owner, which is a male half elf by the name of Traylor. And he welcomes you and goes, "Welcome to the Black Buck. Please take a seat. If we have great ale on tap, or mead if you like it, wine, at reasonable prices." And the Black Buck is actually it's reasonably busy for this time of the day. It's just kind of you just past the morning, and people are just having maybe a late breakfast, or if they've started their shifts earlier, they might be having a lunch. But yeah, so it's reasonably not crowded, but it's reasonably busy. There's quite a few people. In fact, possibly some of these people might be adventurers.
I don't know about you lot, but I need an ale. I wander up to the bar, ignoring my companions, and order the largest tankard I can.
Okay, that'll be 10 silver pieces for an ale.
What a ripoff. That's sure.
What are the rest of you doing?
I just want to wander around, like, down the middle of the room and just sort of, like, nonchalantly listen to what people are talking about. Not, like, stand at their table and listen, but just kind of, like, wander back and forth. And see if anybody's talking about anything sort of adventure-y or, like, wanting to get out of here or something like that.
Yeah,
Honestly,
you do get a few sideways glances because gnomes aren't necessarily that common in this part of the world. And I suppose at first they might even think that you're a child as you walk past, but
That's funny.
but
Okay, so I'm going to use that. If I see people looking at me like, "Mummy, Mummy, have you seen my mummy?" Then I'm just going to like use it so that people don't.
Wow, that's your
Yeah.
We're gonna die.
So honestly, the realization of the situation has just kind of finally hit me, and we might actually die on this. I'm going to just sit down and try to sober up a little bit. I think I had way too much to drink at the last place.
Why sober up? Keep drinking with
Might have
me.
been a mistake.
I'm going to buy I buy an ale,
yep.
a large one, and I'm going to go sit with Renault and quietly say a little prayer to Onros, who's the god of infamy, and look around the room to see who's who. Try and size people up.
Okay. Okay, so while you're and Debbie, what are you doing?
I go up to the bartender, and then I ask him or her. Is it him or her? Or
It's a he.
I ask him. Oh, he's in half.
Sorry,
TD half.
I can't hear you. Sorry, Debbie.
Hello. Is this better?
It's a bit. Yeah, you're a little bit quiet.
The music might be competing with her microphone.
Hello.
There you go. Okay, that's good.
Hello. Is this
Yeah,
better?
I can hear you. Yeah. So what do you say? Sorry.
I go to the bartender and I ask, so how did someone recruit people to help us on an adventure?
Cut straight to the chase.
Imagine the direct route.
Oh, and so Trailer goes, oh, yes, yeah, we have people coming all the time into passing through the Black Buck, and I think there might be some people over in that far corner that might be worth having a chat with. I've noticed a couple of those had a adventurer look about them.
Thank you. And I look around for my companion to see if anyone's going to come with me since I have never done recruiting before and I have absolutely no idea what to do.
Well, as a suggestion, you're going to be doing negotiating, so you may need someone who has reasonably good people skills. Who could that possibly be?
Or gnome
Do not look
skills,
at me.
maybe. Not all people are people. Just saying.
One
Why
of
is
these
everyone-
pens is not like the other. So. Okay, so at a table in the corner, you see 3 people sitting around a table that Traylor sort of nods in their direction, says, maybe those people over there. So
Thank you.
you see a human male, a human female, and what's the other one?
Okay, so you got male and female, and what's the third one?
Two humans.
And another, so
Someone-
two human males and a human female are sitting around this table.
Very small humans.
I think Ada should be our spokesperson for this. That's just me. That's just me saying it. But she's the entertainer and like the.
Bard.
Move out the way and leave it to a professional. Oh, good cheese.
So, okay, so who was going to go and talk to these people?
Ada was. And then she walks away. Renault was the one who said that she should go. I was like, do you think she's going to be nicer to them than she was to like us? I don't know. I don't know how this works.
Define nice.
You didn't hear me. You walked away. I wouldn't say that in front of you because you scare me. You scare Clover. Clover is, oh, you have super hearing? Does she hear me, Neil?
I'm half elf.
Half elves don't have super hearing.
Okay.
Maybe I just have really good hearing. No, one of my.
I don't mind rolling for it in some way
Annoying
so that we
one of
can
my
see
things.
if she hears me dissing her.
I have
Essentially.
a 1 in 6 chance of hearing things, so maybe I heard you.
That's usually if you're like listening to something quiet. I don't know if it's the same. Neil, your call.
No, she doesn't hear you as you. Oh, Brad disappeared. Okay, he's coming back in again.
He's getting snacks.
Fine. Am I talking to these people?
Yes.
Well, I may or may not saunter over there with an ale in my hand, sizing them up. They're relatively average-looking humans. You say there was 2 women and 1 man?
No, 2 males and a female, all human.
I single out the female and I ignore the slightly pitiful-looking men. What's your name, stranger?
Okay, so the first one looks up to you, and you spoke to the female, did you say?
Yeah, the blokes don't really look like much.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're relatively, you're a bard. Obviously, you're nicely dressed. You're attractive. So when they see you, obviously the males will automatically look over to you, you definitely, you draw their attention, and the female sort of looks at you and goes, "Who wants to know?"
An inquisitive stranger.
Does the stranger have a name?
A girl has to earn that stranger's name.
Okay, so she chuckles a little bit and she goes, "Oh, yeah, take a seat."
Clover sitting on the table on the other side of the room, just watching, like, enraptured with this. Like, wow.
Don't mind if I do. I make one of the men move with a dismissive gesture. I need your seat.
I want you to roll a charisma check, please.
Which of my dice am I rolling?
You're going to roll a d20. And what's your charisma?
My charisma is a lot, by the way. It is, I've got here 13 plus 1.
No, your charisma is higher than that. Your charisma,
Really?
yeah, your charisma is.
Where am I looking? Ability scores.
Oh no, yeah, you are. Yeah, you're only
13
you're only 13. I thought you were higher than that.
Because I'm a BITCH.
Yes.
I love that. I love that you're like super gorgeous, but have like a terrible personality. Not you, your character. You are both. You are the whole package.
Real
I
bitches don't have
negotiate
to
with
spell it
my
out.
sword. All right, I'm rolling a d20. And I get a 7.
Okay, so that's all right. So so even though you're fairly cold and a bit abrupt and dismissive, they seem to warm to you. And they say, "Oh, please take
They're
a
only
seat."
human, Game Master. Yeah. They're only human.
Yeah. So they'd say, "Take a seat." And so the female goes, "My name is Thurn." What's her name? Let me just have a look. What did they say?
Is it Greta Thunberg?
Thurn Westergren. Thurn Westergren. And she has a. She is. She's not like heavily armed. She's sort of just wearing traveler's clothes. Yeah. She has a dagger in her belt, and against the wall beside her is a longbow. The other two males, the first male sort of smiles and says, "I'm Oglum. Oglum Lank." And he is a bit sort of more rough around the edges looking, and he just has a sword and a dagger in his at his waist. And the last one has a bit of a shady look, sort of always sort of looking to the left and right, seeing what's going on.
Why is my ex in this tavern?
What was that?
Why is my ex in this tavern?
And he also has a dagger dagger at his hip, but against the wall you see a crossbow.
Guys, I think we could take them. There's 4 of us. There's 3 of them.
We're not here to take their weapons.
It's literally our job is to beat them up, people. We could like.
We're here for meat shields, not their equipment. We need them.
I'm gonna like climb Renault and look him in the face and be like, "Are you stupid?"
We could buy them drinks and take their stuff. I'm just saying, like you get them.
I'm gonna smack him in the face, just the smack. Do you remember why we said we were coming here?
What was the second male's name?
To die?
We're here for meat shields.
No, to not
came here
die.
to die.
Did someone just say we're here for Tinder?
Oh.
I don't think Neil gave his name Murph.
All of them. Now that I have Westbrook Waybrook Wi-Fi.
Neil is going to regret this.
I'm supposed to be enchanting them so they want to join our party.
All right, I'm just saying, if it doesn't work, like if your charms don't work, I'm okay with like the fighting through.
With a slow smile, and I say, "Are any of you willing to die for love or money?"
Money's good. Money's always good.
Can I not use my charisma to lower that price?
Well, I mean, you haven't. So you haven't even made any sort of offer to them yet. So
You all look like enterprising sorts. Can I interest you in a rousing adventure with my band of miscreants over there? There might be
they all sort of
glory
look
or
over-
riches at the end of this tale, and you may or may not come back with your lives.
I smile and wave to be friendly.
Roll your d20 again, please. M.
Imagining Jenny just looking over, and my friends are just sitting there awkwardly waving. I'm really bad at this adventuring stuff. All right, I'm rolling. 13.
Okay. So now they're kind of giving you a bit of a funny look, but they say they're not 100% convinced, but they're going, riches, you say? What's the job?
Just a nice stroll in the woods, take care of a couple of local troublemakers, and then a nice jaunt back through the forest. Drinks are on me.
And what would be the payment for this?
2%, no interest.
2%. No, that's not how it works around here.
Fluttering my eyelashes.
Rayor gets up, he's had about enough, and walks over and goes, "Okay, listen, we're going on an adventure. We're going to do about a 3-day trek to this place. We're probably going to take on some goblins, coming back, maybe not being, is not certified. You get to keep whatever it is you find. However, when we come back, we're all paying 5% total to this guy that we kind of sold our souls to. What do you say? Are you in or no?"
Okay. Roll a charisma check.
Clover is like standing on the chair right now, like, oh, I love these people.
Where do I find charisma?
It's on your character sheet. It's one of your abilities.
Where do I
It's the last
find
one.
charisma?
My ability?
Where do I find my charisma? I had it on me earlier. I left it
Let me
behind.
check in my backpack and see if I got my charisma. Yeah,
The
9.
bottom one. Yeah.
Roll a d20, please.
A D20?
Yep.
Okay, just give me a second. And I'm going to roll, and it comes up 13.
Okay. Yeah. They kind of sort of look. I mean, obviously, you're a bit quite intimidating with the whole red, scaly skin stuff and the horns and things. So they sort of go. They sort of. They're not too sure, and they turn to Ada and they go, "Is he with you?"
We're together, but we're not together.
Met him.
Okay.
I'm going to jump down and I'm going to come run over because I'm like, oh my God, this is going off the rails. I'm sorry, excuse me. I couldn't help but overhearing, but I feel like, what if we offered you an equal share with the fact that we also have to take out our expenses out of this? Equal share after we pay expenses.
Okay.
I'm not a kid. I'm like, not. I was just pretending before. I'm not. I'm Clover. It's nice to meet you.
Okay. Roll a charisma check, please.
All right. I'm going to do it in roll 20.
And all the while, I'm like flirting with the girl in that group.
Mm-hmm.
And my charisma is 9. I rolled a 3. You've got to be under your charisma, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so they go. Finally, the short one speaks some sense.
Well, thank you so much. She's gonna like bow and like curtsy and like Okay.
And so Olgrim goes, "Oh, yeah, sounds fun. Bashing goblins is always fun. What do you think, Melnax?" Melnax is the other human male. He sort of goes, "Equal share of the treasure, you say?"
After expenses.
And you'll be paying for food and things?
Yeah, rations. We'll pay for rations.
Okay. And how long would this adventure take?
3 days to get there, however long it takes to kill whatever we have to kill, and then 3 days back.
Okay. All right. So they sort of they go, "God, give us a moment to sort of talk amongst ourselves." And
I'm sorry, I didn't, and I'm going to talk to Freyord and Ada. And be like, I'm sorry, I was worried that it was going off the rails and that we were going to lose the possibility. And I didn't hear anybody else in here that sounded like they might be able to help us.
I don't think we could have taken them.
No. Run up and kick you in the shin.
I mean, I couldn't have even done like an insight check to see how much HP they had or how sober they were. That's some good stuff they've got.
Or no.
Damn, not their equipment.
You
Okay,
carrying
so-
another bow isn't going to help us.
so the one who was talking about the goblins, who is Oglum, he goes, "Yeah, it sounds all right. I reckon I could go for that. I always like bashing some goblins." The other guy, Melnax, he's going, "Oh, no, I don't. You guys sound a bit amateurish. I don't think I want to. Don't know if I really want to, go anywhere with you guys. I'll end up being dead in a ditch somewhere." And the last
Well, I
one,
mean, if you're afraid, I wouldn't want to presume to bring you somewhere where you're afraid. It's okay. I totally understand, me
No,
being
no, who said I
someone
was
who's
afraid?
wearing like zero armor and basically has a dagger. I totally get it. It's all right if you're afraid.
No one says Melnax's afraid. And he
Yeah.
sort of he sort of rests his hand on his hilt of his dagger.
It's okay. You don't have to threaten me. I mean, seriously, you could literally kick me across the room. It's totally fine. I totally understand. I was commiserating.
And so Fern has been just idly chatting with Ada. Ada, can you just do another charisma check, please?
18.
18.
Oh, it's getting worse.
Yeah. So Fern is she seems to have lost interest, and she sort of has stops talking and sort of just goes back to focusing on her
I
drink.
can't even pick up in D&D. It's up. I thought bigger was better. See what cheese.
That's in 5e, not this version.
Okay, so it looks like you've got Olgong is definitely on board. The other
Yes.
two, you might maybe want to consider sweetening the deal, maybe, or offering something else.
Well, okay, or maybe we stick with Oglum and maybe we go to the church and see if we can find someone who can heal us instead.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't know if there's anybody there that can heal us.
Well, at a church, you're definitely going to find healers.
Yeah, but the healing adventurers, I don't know. There is another bar also.
We can try
There's
to bar.
a couple other places. Yeah.
Oglum, would you come with us if your friends don't want to come? Like you're good, you're down, you're with it, you're on it.
Yeah,
I don't know how to
I-
explain this.
I've got nothing better to do with my time at the moment, so yeah, I can come along.
Great. What do you guys think?
I'm not going to go to a church.
You and I are going to have a conversation. I thought you were a church guy. Wow. Okay.
That church.
That bad church?
What's that?
Did you say bad church?
Not that church.
Oh. Well, okay. How would you feel about us bringing someone from that church along with us? Would that be a problem?
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm walking into a church.
Okay. I totally get it. I'm not big and tall stores. They make me feel inadequate.
All right.
It is 5-on-2 now.
Jesus, Renault.
Are you
It's
sure?
5-on-2. I'm just saying, that's one less on their side and one more on our side.
I don't.
Renault is just itching to kill something.
You know, I'd rather do it in the safety of town, just to like get our feet warm.
I feel like that would go much worse.
I feel like they have military or police in this town who doesn't like rob people. I think.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a much worse idea. Just gonna
Okay,
agree with the least there.
And fine, I'll get over it. You're right.
We should wait till they're out.
Common sense prevails.
I look at Melnax and I wonder, and I ask him, you seem kind of on the fence. Are you completely out, or is there something that we could possibly offer, or something that you want to join our adventure?
I don't know. I reckon you need to sweeten the deal. If you said equal share in treasure, that's fair enough. That's reasonable. Expenses is expected. I say a gold piece a day.
No. I'll give you 2 gold pieces.
2 gold pieces a day.
No.
What?
I'll give you 2 gold pieces.
I see.
2 gold pieces for the whole trip.
Yep.
No. You have to look elsewhere, mate.
Okay.
Good luck.
Good try, though.
So I reach over, I grab his drink, and I drink it down. Let's go.
Okay.
You drank his drink?
Jeez.
Oh my God, you and Renault are both going to spend a lot of time in jail.
There's Reynolds in the corner going, we should do something.
Dude, you crossed the line, man. I just wanted to rough them up a little bit and take their stuff. You drank his drink?
Okay, so no, grabbing his drink is not is not going to endear you to them. That's for sure.
Broke the bro code.
So, Melnax does not react well to that, and he stands up and he goes, "What's your problem?"
Where do I
We're gonna
start?
get the fight.
I don't have a problem. I'm just going to quietly walk out here and we're going to find somebody who wants to join our adventure. You obviously don't want to, that's fine. Here's a silver piece for a beer.
Do a charisma check, please.
We're gonna get our fight. We're gonna get our fight.
We just hired the guy who's probably now going to fight against us.
How is it we haven't even left the town and we're already having a fight?
I feel like Renault and Freyord are like separated at birth.
Freljord, what did you roll?
You roll again? Okay. I rolled a 7.
What's your charisma again?
9.
Ooh, okay.
Crap.
You intimidated them?
Yeah. I mean, you've got the scaly skin and the horns and all that, and you kind of intimidate them a bit. and Malnak goes, get lost, and he sort of sits back down and walks back. Walks away from you. Sort of as he walks past, he sort of just brushes his shoulder against yours, and he walks off towards the bar. And Oglom is sort of standing there going, are we going or what?
Yeah, we're going. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. I still think we could have taken him though.
Jesus, Renault,
Go.
I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna kick you, like push you out. I guess that means I'm like, get out.
So we have a new friend.
Ah,
Oglom Lank, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And he is a fighter.
does he have armor? You didn't describe if he was armored.
I'm a fighter. I had armor.
He has leather armor.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right. Well,
Yep.
That's good. My gosh, you guys are so confrontational. I'm not used to this. I think I almost had a heart attack in there.
Wait.
What?
Serious, I waved. Elise just said I waved.
Okay,
Don't you want to see
not
what
you.
we're made of before we like head out into the real world?
I don't want to spend time in jail in Waybrook, just while we're looking for people to go help us fight bad guys.
But I don't know any of y'all's fighting styles, and I know mine. But I think the best way to like learn is by actually doing it. And what better than like in the safety of town, where we know no one's going to get killed. Worst thing we end up in jail overnight, and then we get out.
Okay, here's the thing. If you start picking another fight in the bar, the person you're gonna have to fight is me.
I'm not trying to pick a fight, Clover. I'm just saying we could have taken them.
All right, so you leave the Black Buck. And was the idea to go to the church, or are you going to go and check out the other bars?
I don't know. Maybe we should go to the Goblin first. I don't know. I honestly though, if you guys are gonna keep picking fights, I don't know what to do. I mean, if you want to walk in and just be all impressive, it's not a thing I can do. I don't have that. So it's not. I'm the person that your friends go, wow, you know what? She has a really nice personality. But otherwise, it's not a thing. I don't walk in and people go, wow, let's go follow her. That's not going to happen. However,
we've managed to bring another fighter with us, and that's because of you. So I'd say that's pretty impressive.
what? Oh, stop it. Clover's just gonna like blush at me like, what? Stop it. Stop. Okay.
Are we going to the dog? Are we going to the bar, or are we going to the church? Or are you going to the church, or are we going to the bar?
I don't know, guys. What do you think? That worked out so well in the last bar. I mean, I honestly was like enraptured watching you work, though, Ada. That was pretty impressive.
I say we should go to a church, although the last time I flirted with a priest, I then broke 3 ribs, so...
Well, we have 2 churches.
They don't
We have
work
the
out
Church
that
of Forgiveness and the Temple of the Benevolent Eye.
Ooh, sounds fun.
Both of those are not to your liking, though, to go inside, Freyord.
I don't mind the Temple of the Benevolent Eye. That seems
Is this
acceptable.
like the Waybrook equivalent of Scientology or something?
Does anybody know anything about? Does anybody know anything about either of those religions? I don't really know religion.
I had a bad experience with religion growing up, and anything that has forgiveness or something like that in the title, will they expect you to get on bended knee and be penitent to them? I'm not into that.
Okay, that's fair. I think I'm glad that you have boundaries. I'm not sure where they land, but I'm glad to know that that's a boundary.
He has religious boundaries, not boundaries when it comes to people's beverages.
Apparently, yes. Just gonna keep my eye on my ale.
If you want to go there, I'm happy to wait outside, but I'll certainly go into the Temple of the Benevolent Eye.
Will I have read about anything of either religions?
There are a lot of religions in the world, obviously. You don't know much about the Church of Forgiveness at all. The Temple of Benevolent Eye is a little bit more well known. Some people have heard about it. None of you have directly been involved with that particular faith. But I mean, there are lots of faiths. Some more powerful than others. But no, yeah. So you've heard of it, but none of you have directly. Frau Yolder's got his own faith. He's had some less favorable encounters with certain faiths, but no. So this one you definitely know a little bit about him.
You're
going to head off to the temple, are you?
I don't know. Why don't we try it? I mean, if we have someone who's sort of religious with us, maybe that'll help, rather than a bunch of like non-religious people walking into a church and going, "Hey, would you like to help us?"
And being new to this, I need to ask Clover, like, what is it you're hoping to find? Like, is it a healer you're looking for?
Yeah, healer or like a paladin or something, like somebody who's like a fighter healer. Any of those sites, because we don't have a lot of heals right now, right? Like, do you have any healing spells yet, or do you have to be more advanced?
Clerics typically need to get to level 2 to get a spell.
Yeah.
So no, he doesn't have any. Clerics don't have spells at level 1.
So literally at this point, what we have is a potion that's going to heal like a little bit of damage. That's all we got.
First level clerics can they can turn undead. That's their main skill, and they have martial skills, but no spells as of yet.
Right.
No, it's been a while since I've been out there in the open, but can't we heal in other ways? Can't we sleep? Can't we?
Yes. So when you rest, one full day of rest will let you heal 1d3, which is 1d, up to 3 hit points a day from rest.
And Clover,
I'm just thinking
I appreciate the concern. Oh, go ahead, Clover. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking, in the middle of a battle, if we get our pants handed to us, it's like a potential to come back.
Well, I mean, ideally, you go into the battle wearing your pants. You shouldn't have to have them handed to you.
I'm talking about as someone where did you grow up? You don't know, like, the pantsing, and then they take them off and they put on your face?
So obviously, we can't heal during battle unless we have the one potion or we have spells.
A healer, yeah.
But what are you expecting to see out there, Clover? Why are you so concerned about what's out there between here and the next town?
Have you looked at what I'm wearing? I'm literally wearing a dress. That's it.
Well, you have all of us to protect you, and I hope you trust all of us.
Nope.
Well, at least she's honest.
I mean, I think you are all incredibly interesting, but I also think that you guys literally have no reason to, risk yourselves for my little tiny neck. So, and the other thing is, I don't want any of you guys to die either. I mean, it's important to me that none of us die. And I just feel like if we can afford to maybe get one other person, either another fighter or another healer who has a few spells, then it's just like added bonus, But I mean, if you feel like
Ada looks at all of you and goes, "I don't know about you lot, but I'm going to the Temple of the Benevolent Eye. Whoever wants to come with me can."
I'm coming to the eye.
I'll come with you.
Okay.
Going to the eye.
Yeah.
So you make your way across town to the Temple of Benevolent Eye. as you can see on the image, it's a fairly large building, ornate decorations on the outside. There's a big sort of dome, almost like a minaret type thing on the roof, and a steep stairs moving up to double doors that open. And as you open up the doors, you can sort of hear. The room's quite echoey because it's obviously a large sort of open space. You can see chairs arranged for when there's sermons, and you can see at the end of the room there's a bit of like an altar, and above the altar is like this large fresco depicting an eye looking down on people who were supplicating before the eye, and the sort of rays of light coming down on them.
Wow, that's not creepy at all.
and the people are sort of looking up like this, sort of sort of thing. And so you also obviously you're sort of everyone's coming. I'm assuming did everyone come to the same, or is everyone gone somewhere else?
No,
you're all there. Okay. And Fro, you're waiting outside, are you, or you were coming in?
He was going to come into this one. That's why we went here.
Yeah. Yep. So you walk in and you sort of stand in. You're just taking in the room, the noise. The surroundings, and then you hear some feet shuffling to your right, and you look across, and this little guy he's in a what is it? A habit? Is that what they call them? A monk's habit or something? With his hands sort of tucked inside his sleeves, and he sort of shuffles over to you, and he goes, "Oh, good day, gentle travellers. Welcome to the Temple of the Benevolent Eye. How can I be of assistance? Do you seek enlightenment? Does the Benevolent Eye choose to shine on you today?"
What? Freyard, you're up. Religious dude. Like shoulder into his kneecap.
We're travelers about to set out on an adventure, and we're looking for assistance from somebody of faith who can, if it came down to it, could assist us in prolonging our lives or minimizing our injuries, like a healer.
Oh, you seek healing? Yes. We do offer. We do offer services of healing. Is someone unwell?
We're hoping to avoid that.
Okay. Well, so sorry. Are you? I misunderstand. Are you looking for someone to accompany you?
Yes, we're looking for another traveler to come. Someone who's not afraid to do an adventure for about, like, say, maybe between 7 and 9 days. And,
no! This is a house of religious study. All the brothers here are committed to the study and the studying the virtues and the texts from the Benevolent Eye. I'm not aware of any of our brothers who are wanting. There are no armed pilgrimages that are planned. Maybe I suggest that you maybe try one of the taverns possibly in town. They may be able to. There may be some people who may be able to assist you in that area.
That sounds like a great idea. Padre, are you thirsty?
Oh,
would you like to go to the tavern with us and talk about the Benevolent Eye?
Oh no, sorry, no. I have my duties here. Where are you staying? If I do know of any clerics, I could point them in your direction.
I think we had accommodation at the Falling Star from if I'm not mistaken, or did we not actually decide that we're staying anywhere? We're just sort of wandering the town.
I don't think
I can't remember.
I don't think you say to the Falling Star you actually found some lodgings elsewhere in town, but yeah, I mean, the Falling Star would be a place where you could say that you could meet people.
You know what? At the least, they could leave a message for us there, because that's where we. If they go there and they're looking for us, Rongrim might be able to take a message for us, and then we could come find them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but I mean, certainly, if you are seeking healing or seeking enlightenment, our doors are always welcome. We have services every second day, and you're welcome to join us for have the secrets of the Benevolent Eye revealed to you.
Does the Benevolent Eye see the future?
Benevolent Eye, what people see from the Benevolent Eye is whatever the Benevolent Eye bestows on them. If some people claim to be seers, and other people derive other benefits. Some people just take the solace of that the Benevolent Eye is there to protect them and look over them on their path.
So we can just like talk to the eye? I don't understand.
Well, most of the Benevolent Eye reveals itself to people through prayer. My little friend.
Oh, I'm not very good at that.
Yeah.
That's what my mom said. She said that's why my dog died. Because I didn't pray hard enough.
Well, I'm sure your furry friend has moved on to a better place.
Maybe. He's in the cow pasture.
So, so the cleric goes, anything else I can help you with?
No, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want to go to the Thirsty Goblin?
I just have a thought. I just want to look around without asking the father. Do they have like a font that looks like it might have holy water in it?
You're gonna steal some holy water.
Yep.
We're not only gonna die on this campaign.
Yes,
we're gonna get
there is actually a small little pedestal with a bowl with some water in it. But you can see.
Does anybody have a vial or anything that we could put it in, or like a wineskin or something that doesn't have stuff? I have a water
flask.
skin.
I bought a flask, didn't I?
Yeah.
Didn't I buy like an empty flask? There you go.
He's stealing holy water now?
Well, no, I'm not necessarily stealing it. I'm just considering stealing it. I'm not saying any of that out loud.
We already stole one drink tonight. I think that's enough.
Okay, so, if you really want to help, maybe you could give us a little bit of water for our troubles?
Yes, well, we have some water here you may take with you.
You're the best. Honestly, I will tell everyone you are the best church in town. I swear.
Okay. So yeah, he allows you to fill your
Definitely
flask.
top two.
Holy water.
Or you would write the Yelp review 4 out of 5 stars.
But it's just a yell review because you just have to scream it when you go outside.
Is that like a
Temple of the Benevolent Eye is the best church in town?
Temple of the Benevolent Eye, 3 stars. Yeah. All right.
So is that actually holy water, Neil? Is it actually holy water, or did we just get like regular water and we got hosed?
Why the yellow?
You won't know until you try.
Questionable fluid. Thanks, Benevolent Eye.
Until we try it. We absolutely need it to be holy water, and it's like
Somebody do
it's
a
just
taste
water.
test.
The holy eye is full of crap.
Okay,
You know what
so
it'll
where
be?
to
It'll
where
be
to
my
next?
fault because I didn't pray hard enough again.
We're gonna have to get this show on the road soon.
Alright, so
It's like burn through a day.
So Oglin the fighter's just been tagging along, and he's just sort of going, "I'm thirsty. Let's go and get something to drink."
So why don't we go to the goblin and see, like, try one more time, and then if that doesn't work, then we leave it up to the fates. And again, I will pray as hard as I can, but I suck at it.
Yep.
That doesn't listen to me.
All right then. So where are we off to then?
What
do you guys think?
Did you say we're going to Goblin?
Well, why not? Because we haven't been there. I feel like we almost got killed at the Buck. That sounds ominous. Oh, okay. No, it's gotten better. I thought it was like, oh my god, we're dead.
Reuben.
Why can't you see the image? That's weird.
I'm here. The bard call.
Can you see an image?
No.
No.
That's weird.
No.
Hang on. Oh, why is it not showing the... Huh. That's odd. Okay. We've lost the image for the There you go.
I just noticed Murphy's background is this lovely.
He's on the beach.
I love it.
Can you see something now?
Yep.
All right. I don't know why it wasn't showing it before, but this is the fun of learning how to use Roll20 while we're playing. All right. So you enter the Thirsty Goblin.
We are going to a tavern named Thirsty Goblin to hire people to help us fight goblins.
Yeah. I
Are
wonder
you
if it's
thirsty
actually
for
run by a
goblins? So
goblin.
are we.
The owner is Milra Sheg, which is a human female. Quite a robust woman, with a big red, rosy cheeks and a loud laugh. And she welcome to the Thirsty Goblin. And again, it's you've spent some time at the Black Buck, and it's a similar sort of crowd to the Thirsty Goblin. Milra is sort of going, "Oh, what can I help you with?"
Okay, Ronald, you're up.
Yeah. Renault or Elise, the two of you guys are out.
See those two people back there? I think we can take them.
I think that's Renault's modus operandi, isn't it? Walk in a room and see who we can take.
Guys, I don't think we're going to find what we're looking for. I think we talked to the only three folks. We got one of them. Can I ask?
Well, there's a few people in the room. Maybe you could ask what's her name? What's her name?
Milra?
Milra. You could ask her up front. I mean, Eloise's direct approach seemed to work last time.
Oh, that's right. Eloise is the one that went to the bar last time. All right, Renault, you got to ask. Just ask.
All right. Well, people is not my thing, right? I don't like people, but I'll go up to the.
Really, I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, right. So, do you know anybody who can heal on the road? We're going to be out there for a week or so, maybe longer. Potions aren't going to cut it. Do you know anyone who might be able to help us out?
Milra goes, "Oh, well, there's some people over there. In fact, I saw one of I think there was a woman over there that was definitely had some sort of a holy symbol around their neck. She points over.
What was that, Murph?
Raynor puts his holy symbol around his neck.
So she sort of points over to the table, and you see there's at the table there's a few people seated at a table. You see, what was it? Two humans, a human male, a human female, a male dwarf, and what was the other one? Might help if I actually look at the actual stats. So there's a halfling female, there's a male dwarf, there's a human female, and another human female.
Well, you can never have too many human females. I don't want to.
So who's going to go over there and approach them?
It's not going to be me.
Which one's the one with the holy symbol?
One of the human females.
Yes. Sure. Humans don't usually react all that well to gnomes, right? Like it's kind of a negative.
Well, you're not going to intimidate them, are you? So you might be the way to go.
You're like the gnome is harmless.
I'm not going to intimidate them. All right, fine. I see how this is. Fine. All right. You guys want me to do this? I mean, Ada's the one who's attractive.
Yeah, but not to human females.
I don't know. That female was that whatever her name was, Fern, was into her for a while. Clearly, she just doesn't have a really good. That Fern chick just doesn't know what she wants.
So I'm gonna sneak up behind Clover, and I'm just gonna kind of push her out in the direction of that table.
And I fly and roll and tumble and land on my ass in front of them at the table.
Well, that certainly gets their attention, and the dwarf sort of looks at you, goes, he just laughs. He goes,
yeah, and I'm gonna say in Dwarvish, it's stupid humans, right?
Oh yeah, these are jokes. Oh yeah.
Well, I'm here now, so so clumsy. I really could. We're going on a trip, and we are going to go and potentially attack some goblins, and we're kind of concerned that we maybe need some heals. And we were told, and I'm going to look directly at the woman who's got the symbol, that you might be someone who's looking for some adventure and might want to join us. Me and my little band of friends. I'm going to point back and hope that Elise is looking.
And she goes, "Oh, really? Are people in peril? They need us."
I'm going to say we will be. Probably, most likely, me, in some way, shape, or form. We are pretty new, pretty green, and we don't have any healer with us. We could really use your help. And we're going to help this town that's being overrun by these goblins. We're not just doing this for shits and giggles.
I am.
Well, I mean, I am a cleric, but I'm just a little acolyte. I'm just a beginner on my path.
So you don't have any way to heal either?
Not at this stage, no.
Oh my gosh! But you can fight, right?
Oh yes, definitely. Definitely. I've learned the martial arts. Yes.
And I'm gonna look at everybody else and be like, does anyone know anyone who heals? I mean, no offense, but healing is kind of a thing that we kind of need. But if we can't get it, then maybe not.
Agnel, I'm sorry. I hope that my faith will give me the ability to heal in the future.
And I'm gonna look back at my friends and be like, do we feel like we need somebody else to fight, or do we? No.
Depends
Okay.
on what you want.
Yeah. What? I mean, what does everybody else do? What do you guys do? You all look pretty impressive.
So the dwarf sort of looks at you and goes, "Oh, my name's Groof Abernathy, sister. I'm handy with an axe and a pickaxe if required. I know some mining, but I'm not averse to any sort of adventuring. Hopefully, there's some tunnels involved where I feel more comfortable."
Are there any ash holes?
Ash holes. Oh, I could tell you a story about an ash hole. I had a dream. I had this dream once that it was on this weird place where there's 3 travelers and one of them fell in a hole. And then the other one, the halfling female, sort of smiles, goes, "Hello, my name's Beatrix. Are you going on an adventure?"
Yes, hopefully.
Oh, well, I mean, it sounds interesting. Anything's more interesting from being a farmer.
What do you do, Beatrix?
Oh, I'm pretty good with. I've got a pretty good eye. I'm pretty good with a slingshot or a bow.
Do you have any hoes? Are you good with a hoe?
Just one moment, I've got to stop. My dogs have just gone nuts for some reason. Just
Well, the hose are calling to the dog.
Neil is like, I must attend to my hose.
It's the quack who's gone to the dogs.
Any cheese?
Oh, all right. While we're taking a moment.
Literally went to get some cheese. Runs on a cheese break, I see. We need Neil to play that music of like on YouTube. People have like remade like popular rock songs and pop songs, but as like medieval bardcore bard music. Like people have remade, I don't know, like Green Day and stuff and Foo Fighters, but as like bard music.
Sorry about that. I had to feed the dogs.
Neil,
Yeah.
the next time we need you to get into like on YouTube. There are people that remake like popular rock songs and pop songs like Green Day and Foo Fighters and stuff, but as like medieval bard music.
Oh, okay.
It's like remakes of like Lady Gaga and stuff, but like bardcore remakes of them, like on lute.
Wow.
Have you seen the you know the AC/DC song Thunderstruck?
Yes, there is a lute version.
Oh, okay. Well, there is a banjo version.
Oh,
It's called by the something Seagulls or something, but they're
Oh yeah.
it's like
yeah.
a bluegrass version of Thunderstruck with mandolin and banjo and all
Yeah.
those sort of things. All right, so where were we before I was interrupted by crazy dogs?
You introduced the dwarf, and so there's still the halfling and the other human to introduce what they do.
Yeah, so Agnel and that introduces herself. She's the cleric that you were talking to. Quite tall and statuesque looking, human female. Quite pretty in a sort of simple way. Beatrix is a rosy cheeked sort of cheerful, folksy sort of halfling. The dwarf Gruff is gruff by name, gruff by nature. Quite plain, quite craggy looking. Obviously the beard. And then the last one is another female. She's sort of wearing sort of dark clothing. She looks a little bit disheveled. It's a bit wiry and sinewy. Looks like she could be quite agile when she needs to be. And that's the four people.
But
So
did she not give her name? Is she sort of like mysterious and just?
she goes, my name's Hester.
Hester. Well,
And she goes, I'm a thief.
Lots of people are just really open about being thieves. I'm just so shocked.
Well, when you're out in the wilderness areas on the fringes, you
looking for work, I guess you got to tell people what you do.
yeah.
Well, we don't have a lot to offer. We don't really even have we can't hire we can't hire a bunch of people. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to go back to my friends and be like, okay, so they have a cleric, but she doesn't have any spells either. Do you guys want another fighter type, or they've got a dwarf who's really good in caves? I don't know if these goblins are going to be in a cave. What did the halfling say she was? Is she like a ranger?
No, she's just a halfling. She's good with a bow.
Oh, okay.
Good with bow
And then
stuff.
there's like a acrobat thief girl. I don't know. I feel like maybe we should go with what we have and take the chance.
I think so. I think we have enough of us.
Because I think if we keep if we had somebody who could heal us, then it might be worthwhile. But I think if we keep diluting, we don't even know how much we're going to make.
And she's going to be learning on the job. She's more useful than the rest of us.
Yeah.
I think we get this show on the road.
Let's do it.
Stop blowing the
Okay.
budget.
Okay, so I'm going to go back over and say thank you so much for your offer, and we'll definitely keep you in mind for future opportunities. Maybe if you got a card, or what, I'll remember you. It's okay. And I hope we see you guys again sometime. But we really wanted some heals, and I totally get that you're still learning. So same here. I don't have a lot, so I get it.
All right, give us your lead tip. Don't call us, we'll call you.
They sort of raise their eyebrows and they go, "Oh, all right, fair enough." So you're not interested in any of these people?
We honestly, we were really hoping for someone who would heal. So I really, really appreciate you guys and your time. And maybe next time we'll meet up and do something together. Maybe just hang out, play cards. I don't know. I'm gonna go because I'm making it awkward now.
I'm dragging Clover out of the bar at this point, rolling my eyes and just dragging Clover out before she opens her mouth again.
I've already told you people I am not good with people.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
So you exit the bar. So so we're back in the town of Waybrook again. This is where you are. You can see the town again. So I guess you want to get moving then.
What time is it? In game.
Okay, it's probably about just past midday.
I don't know. I think it'd be good to go. What do you guys think?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Going on an adventure.
I'm not about the adventure. I'm about the journey.
You're about kicking other people's ass, is what you're about.
That's part of the journey.
See, I thought that was part of the adventure.
Renault goes into any encounter as whether or not you can take someone down or not.
All right, Oglim, you're it, bud.
Okay, so
one thing before we go, we should probably buy rations to cover Oglim's food before we go.
Yes.
What did we say the rations are worth?
Okay, so for standard rations, you
5
are
gold
looking
pieces?
at I think it was 5 gold pieces.
Okay, I'll get it.
I thought it was 5. I thought it was 15.
That's for iron.
That's for iron rations.
Right.
Yeah. So I bought standard for myself, so I'll buy standard for him. I'll buy it. As long as I can just take my costs back from the whatever we make.
Yeah. 5 gold pieces for 7 days worth of standard rations.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna actually hold on to it because I don't know if Oglim's gonna take off on us.
Yeah.
But I'll let him know that I've got him covered.
Okay. So you gather your possessions, and this is the map that you can see before you that you were given by Gergen. So you can see it's not heavily on the details, but essentially you're going to go north on the King's Road for a day. Each one of these hexes is 6 miles. So basically you're going to cover where you're leaving at about midday. So you're probably going to move about 12 miles down the road. So you'll be traveling to about here, which is on the road, going past some sort of swampy ground area. So you'll be essentially camping on the side of the road. You're on.
I prefer to camp on the side closer to that. Is that a river or a stream? Is it like a big, deep river, or is it a shallow
to the right
stream?
Yeah, that's a reasonably sized river. It's not right by the road. It's a couple of miles away.
Oh, okay.
So basically, when you move north of Waybrook, there is generally it's sort of flat ground. Some small farms, and then as you move a bit further away from the town, you just basically in just sort of open areas. There's it's not like dense forest or anything. Essentially, these areas where you've got forest, There, obviously, it's proper dense forest. So you might be on your path. You might pass some small little areas of woods, but generally it's an open sort of grassy areas that you pass through until you come sort of down a little bit to a lower area, which it's a bit more swampy. The mosquitoes and things are a little bit more annoying. But you'll be able to make camp at the end of the first day. You're going to be about here. You can see it on screen, can't you? Want to do that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yeah, so you're gonna camp there for the first day.
We should have a watch when we sleep.
I can take first look.
Yeah, so what you're going to need to decide on is probably some sort of marching order in case you encounter anything, and also for the purposes of the game, it might be good to take turns to assign a role to people, like someone who's going to be, I think they call it the caller, where essentially you can discuss what you guys are going to be doing, and then you can kind of sort of have a spokesperson who says, okay, we're going to do this or we're going to do that. I'll leave that up to you guys how you want to handle that. But yeah, so the first rest of the day, you sort of, like I say, you walk out, you make your way out of the town. You do pass a few people on the King's Road because it is the main road. It's there's a reasonable amount of traffic on it. To the north, there are a few more smaller villages. So there is definitely some trade and travel on the King's Road through down Waybrook, because you pass through Waybrook, and then that's obviously the main point where people can catch canal boats down the river down to the coast, or they can continue down the King's Road to other towns and eventually towards the capital of the kingdom. But yeah, so essentially you're able to camp by the road by the end of the first day.
Renault, are you in armor?
Yeah, I have. What do I have? Let me check my sheet.
I'm just thinking in terms of like if we're thinking about like a walking order, the three ladies should be in the middle and the dudes should be on the outside because you're all armored and we're
paranoid
not.
are you about what's out here? I got my chainmail.
Okay, so you don't survive as a tiny little person like me unless you're super careful about what's out everywhere.
It's called paranoia.
It's called safety.
I'm pretty sure there are things out there that want to eat us. Can we get moving before we get eaten?
Well, I think if nobody objects, my suggestion would be that Oglum goes first, and then Renault goes second, and then the three of us ladies somewhere in the middle, and then Freyord can pull up the rear. Wait, I mean, can be in the back. I'm sorry. That was not the way I meant to say it.
I'm fine with that as an order, but just as a very soft, gentle correction, there's no like silent letters in my name. It's Renault. It's not Renault.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, I thought you were French.
France? I've never heard of France in this. Who is France?
French. French is a language, isn't it? The language of French.
France
the
is
dressing.
France isn't the place in this.
Like the dressing.
It's the dressing. The people who made the dressing, the orange dressing. It's just a little town, a town called Frenchland. It's where they make all the cheese.
So we had Oglum up front. Then we had, was it Renault?
Yep.
Renault. And then
ladies, your choices where you want to be. The three of us are all squishy, right? Ada, you don't have armor either, right?
Ada has leather armor.
Oh, she has leather.
She's a bard. She can handle herself with a sword.
Well, I don't know.
I'm fine.
Maybe we should have like 2 armors, and the squishies in the middle.
Who is a squishy?
Me and Elise. So anybody who doesn't have armor, because Elise and I are basically wearing clothing. We have no armor.
I'm not wearing armor, but I have a shield.
You
No, you bought chainmail.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
you're like scaly and armored. You're like doubly cool. I mean,
Hey, man.
Skarmer.
Got it.
Okay, so we've got Clover and Eloise in the middle, and then Ada, are you back with Freljord or are you behind Renel?
That's armor with that MOUR.
Now with extra U, you're armored.
It's not.
Ada, do you want to be in the back or do you want to be in the front? Like, do you want to be up front?
I am okay taking up the rear so I can keep an eye on what's coming up behind us.
I'm with
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
still looking at that.
So we have our marching order sorted. Cool. All right. So, like I said, first for the rest of that day, there's nothing. You're still in a relatively civilized areas, like I said, farmland, occasional farmhouse and things, and you are able to camp the first night, and there's no issues. So the next morning, you have eat yourself cook some food, have some breakfast, and then you start making your way up the King's Road. Just before midday, you come to a Y junction. The King's Road is you can see, but that's definitely the more well-worn road, and that continues to the northeast. While the road to the northwest is, you can see it's less traveled. The wagon tracks are not as worn into that road as the King's Road. But this is the path that Gurgen says that you have to go.
We took the road less traveled.
Exactly. Yes.
Jeez.
So
I must be from French land.
Yeah, so you just made it just before midday, and then you continue up the road. I mean, there is you still occasionally get some passerby on a wagon, but it still seems to be fairly safe, for want of a better term. Yeah. And then just before lunch you had the junction, and then as the day is drawing to a close and the sky is starting to darken, you see up ahead of you see a small village.
Oh.
Which would seem like a most logical place to stop for the night. And you can see that the road continues. The ground is slowly starting to rise a little bit, and you can see that you're going to be passing through a bit of a forest behind the village, in the sort of low hill. And then looking further ahead, you can definitely see the white caps of the barrier mountains off in the distance.
No.
Yeah. So you reach this little village. Aidenvale is the name of the village, where you're able to find some lodgings for the night. So you don't need to camp on the side of the road, and you're able to get some food. So you don't have to use your rations. You can just spend a few silver pieces for your food and have something to eat, and you've got a warm bed to rest.
Are you worried about us keeping track of that in terms of cost and taking it out of our money, or?
Not at this stage, but
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it's only. I mean, they're not charging exorbitant rates. It's you're talking silver pieces,
Okay.
and one.
It's much more reasonable than that other town where they were charging 10 silver pieces for a beer. Jesus.
Yeah, well, that's
enough to drive someone to not drink.
Or just take one without asking.
Yeah.
Here's that.
Yeah, Jason. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's like Renault and his. Oh, right. Freyord is the one who stole that.
Stole it.
Right in front of his face. I guess not a very good thief, but a thief nonetheless.
Okay. Anyway.
Level 1 thief.
So again, so you spend the evening, the night, sorry, in the town, and in the morning, again.
Wait! I have to ask if our bard would entertain the town for the evening. She must be able to make money playing a song or something.
Oh, definitely. You could.
I can.
I'm not trying to push it. I just feel like
She has a lute, and she can definitely, if she was inclined, she can entertain the locals.
Here's Wonderwall.
It so happens I have a guitar handy.
I don't believe that anyone feels the way I do about you now. I want the whole town's just what is this song?
I do like Freyord said, everybody lights a candle.
I feel like the lyrics and all the roads we have to walk are winding are very appropriate for this moment.
I feel so. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be standing on a chair cheering and be like, she's amazing. You should give her money.
What you need to say is toss a coin to your bar.
I'm gonna throw a coin in your hat just to start it off.
All right. Am I getting that bag? Am I bringing in the dough?
Okay, so you're going to perform. Let me just check that out.
If I must.
Say maybe she's gonna be the bard that saves me.
And after all, you're my wonder wall.
Okay.
You have a great voice. That's awesome.
Okay, so yes, so I don't. So what is your shtick, Ada? What sort of performing do you do? What's the thing? Yeah, what's your thing? Is it singing? You dance? Interpretive dance? What is it? Mime?
It's French mime, actually.
French mime. See,
walking against the wind.
The Industrial Revolution.
Yeah. So what is your act essentially?
Well, like I said, I only do it for the right price, and it's usually quite high-paying clientele that I perform for. So it's not your average tavern wench kind of bard, but
you're more at the sort of concubine end of the market, are you?
No, I tend to be called upon to entertain important officials and dignitaries usually. So I tend to be up that sort of upmarket kind of end of things. But I can be persuaded to perform otherwise as well. And I usually play the lute and I sing my own compositions. And I used to also travel, before I joined our adventuring troupe, I was part of a group of performers who used to travel And our shtick, as you asked it, was that on the side we would also steal, which is where the thief part comes in.
Okay.
And I don't know much about my background. My history itself is quite shady. I was raised in this group of performers, but I don't actually know much about my heritage. Dun, dun, dun.
You sound like a gypsy. I love it.
All right. So anyway, you perform, and they are very. Obviously they're not in the town, Waybrook, so the entertainment is not that common. So they do definitely appreciate that you can entertain them, and they reward you to the tune of 12 gold pieces.
Nice.
Yep,
And I take my seed money back. I'm going to take my coin back, my little silver piece, put it back in my pocket.
So make a note of that, Ada.
Very good.
And you do hear some rumors that they've one or two people mentioned that they have heard some things going on up north in Deeping Vale. They have heard rumors that there's something not something amiss up there, but they don't have too much detail at all, unfortunately.
Strange things are afoot.
Yes. And they particularly liked the medieval version of Wonderwall that you did, Ada, so they were quite happy with it.
Like what kind of rumors?
The main thing that seems to be mentioned is goblins. Goblins are causing mischief, that they might be raiding farms and just causing a bit of mayhem up there.
So the information we have so far is accurate.
Yeah, it does tie in from what Gergen told you. So far, what he's told you seems to be true. So you pass a pleasant evening being entertained by Ada and her loot. You had some good food. You made a bit of coin out of it. So all in all, your first full day of adventuring turns out to be, quite good. It's a good start, good beginning. So the next day, again, you break your fast, and then you set off. And again, leaving the village. Pretty soon you're into the woods. It's not a really deep, dark, foreboding woods, but it's definitely a woods. Essentially, as you move along, there's not much in the way of you can't see very much. The woods are pretty much all around you,
While we're going through the woods, then I'm going to keep, whatever side that I'm on, I'm going to keep my eye as much as I can in the woods so that we're not just looking front and back then.
Yep. Okay. So after a couple of hours, you exit the woods and you sort of into this sort of shallow valley. To the left and right of you, you can see in the distance, a few miles off, you can see that the woods is kind of surrounding you on both sides, but you're in a sort of open area, and the ground is starting to rise. You're getting a bit more hilly as you're approaching the mountains. The road continues up there, and there's no one on the road. It's essentially deserted now. You're not seeing anyone.
There's no fresh tracks on the road at all. Really, there's no
No, it doesn't look like the ground. I mean, it hasn't been raining very much, so we're not talking about. It's not like a muddy road, but it's not dry and dusty. But yeah, there's definitely no evidence of any recent wagons or anything passing down the road.
So, is it safe to say that the goblins are traveling very far in their raiding?
There's no evidence at this point, this far south from the village, of any goblin activity that you've come across yet.
So we're still like a day and a half outside the village still?
Yeah, so you're going to be about here now. So you've just come through some hills. You're still you've got the woods to the left and right of you as you're traveling northwest, and then you're probably going to be making camp probably about here, sort of again by side of the road, not too far away from the edge of the woods on the western side or the left as you're looking down up the road. So you're going to have to make camp on the side of the road, or you're off the road, I suppose. Now you don't have any tents or anything, so you are going to be essentially sleeping rough.
Yeah, I just have my bedroll, so I'll find somewhere dry.
Yeah.
And so should we make a watch order?
I can take first watch.
Neil, for this game system, how long does a magic user have to sleep?
I think you need about 6 hours.
Okay, so of an 8-hour watch, we need to split it into... Do you need 6 hours unbroken?
Yeah. So you're going to have, in the evening, you're going to have essentially 3 watches. From about sunset, whatever you want to call it, that would be, say, 6 o'clock till, say, 10. That would be the first watch. And then from 10 till 2, and then from 2 to 6. So you're looking at 3 watches you're going to have to cover. And you're probably going to need to sleep for 2 of those watches.
Okay. So if Elise is doing the first one, I would do the last one.
Well, I mean, there's enough people that you could both be sleeping at the same time, sort of thing.
Sure.
It's up to you guys how many people you want to have on watch, but you could theoretically just have one person on watch.
So there's 6 of us, so we could do 2 people per watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That way,
I think that's good.
That way, you keep an eye on the other person, making sure that they don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And nobody gets attacked.
I had tinder, so I'm going to make a fire.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So that's you're able to do that. I mean, one thing to bear in mind, but when you are in the wilderness, that lighting fires is a good way to attract things.
It's also a good way to keep away.
But it also keeps you warm as well. So it's a bit of a trade-off, but that's the...
Does anybody want fire?
I want fire.
Mm-hmm. I also have mosquito repellent herbs that I can throw some in the fire so we get bitten by mosquitoes.
Nice.
All right, so who's taking the first watch?
I'll take first watch.
I'll take it with Elise, and then the 2 of us can sleep till morning.
I'll take the second.
Okay.
I'll do the early morning dawn watch.
Okay. Olgrim, you want to do him with Froliord? What's his name? Is that his name? Is Olgrim? Isn't it?
Olgrim is, yeah.
Olgrim. Mm-hmm. So that would leave Renault, with Ada for the third watch.
I was hoping to stay quiet so no one would know.
Yeah, there's only 6 of us. You got to take a watch.
You're going to sleep through the whole thing.
I was, if you're going to let me, sure. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Whenever you want me to work, I'll work. It's fine.
Okay. So you take your turns, taking your watches, and fortunately the night passes uneventfully. So nothing untoward. Disturbs
When
you.
I wake up, can I just listen to see if I hear any burrowing animals around?
Yep. Okay. Not immediately by the road. You don't hear
Nothing? Okay.
No.
Too bad. I might be able to get some intel. I keep forgetting that.
Intel from a badger.
Yeah, he might be able to say what he's seen around, or like where's a good place to get some food, or save some rations.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so where did we say you were? You were about here, weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So so the watch passes uneventfully, and next morning again you set off, and you come into now the road is definitely getting steeper now. You're definitely coming into getting closer to the barrier mountains. It's a much hillier path as you pass through, and so it's a little bit slower going because the road's getting a bit steeper. And the first thing you notice of that something is a little bit awry is you come through these hills, and then you notice not too far from the road a farmhouse, but it looks like the farmhouse is actually burnt. So it's actually the ruins of a farmhouse.
Do you guys want to go check it out?
Hell yeah. There might be supplies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, clues.
All right, so you step off the road and you make your way over to the farmhouse, and it's ruins. It's been torched. There's debris and things scattered around. There's broken earthenware, bowls and plates and wooden bowls, and there's scraps of clothing and things have been dragged. You can see that the building itself has been burnt and has collapsed. I mean, these buildings are essentially a wattle and door with a thatch roof type simple construction. We're not talking like big solid stone buildings. It's gutted. The roof's collapsed down inside, there's things, belongings, and all that have been strewn around the grounds, and you can see there's a lot of footprints. Renault, being a druid, immediately spots the footprints as being. You notice that there are some large wolf prints, larger than normal wolf prints, which suggests possibly dire wolves, which are not uncommon when it comes to goblins.
No one told me there were giant wolves in this. Giant.
There's not anything really of value. It's like I said, there's some rags and a little bit of clothing and some smashed cabinets and things. Yeah.
Neil, I'm going to grab a piece of cloth that's still intact, and I'm going to tear it and make like a little pouch, and I'm going to put my wolfsbane in that, tie it, and wear it around my neck.
Okay.
Is there any food left?
Not that you can see. I mean, so like I said, it's the place has been gutted, and from what you can see, anything that was of value has been either looted or destroyed in the fire. There's no
cart outside or anything, is there?
Anything that's out there is either been burnt or smashed. So,
Okay.
and interestingly that you can't see any livestock as well. So, there's no chickens or lambs or anything like that. It's whatever, and it's probably not recent. The fire, not as in like it's not like it's still warm or anything like that. But it's happened on a few days ago. You would imagine. At least, yeah.
Do you see blood?
No, that's notable. There isn't any bodies that you can see. The only evidence of any sort of activity besides the building damaged is the footprints in the ground, and there's lots of footprints, but the main thing that Renault notices is that the large wolf prints.
Can I do the burrowing mammal equivalent of to try to get them to come to me to see if there's any here? Like a
Trying
kind of
to
thing?
summon the dire wolves.
I'm trying to summon burrowing mammals that I can talk to.
Well, Tracy, I have a couple of magic spells that I can use once a day.
No, don't use that yet. This is I have an ability to talk to burrowing mammals, and so I'm just trying to see. I don't want you to waste it on this. It might be much cooler to use it in a different situation.
You're a druid. Do you have spells? I can't remember if you have a spell in first level. Let me just double check. Druid. Yeah, you got one first level druid spell. Did you decide which one you chose, Renault?
I'm looking at so there's animal friendship and detect danger, and then there's invisible to animals, and then there's locate plant or animal.
Yeah, so your druid spells are divine spells. So essentially, each night when you go to sleep, you do your sort of rituals or prayers or whatever, and you can take any one of those spells the next day. So you're not fixed.
So if I did invisible to animals, would it just be on me, or would it be for the whole party?
Invisible to animals. I'll have to read the actual description, but I think it's why don't we just actually look it up and find out?
Yeah. It seems like a no-brainer.
It's probably only on yourself. Maybe, but it seems like a really powerful spell if you're making 6 people invisible to animals.
Invisibility to animals says... Duration, 1 turn, which is 10 minutes.
That's not very long.
In a fight that's long.
This spell renders the subject undetectable to all senses, smelt, sight, hearing of non-magical animals, and able to wander among them completely unnoticed.
The subject. So does that mean he can choose one person, including himself?
No, you can cast it on yourself, or you can cast it on another creature that you touch.
Okay, so I think if I'm going to have to do one, I want one that actually has some sort of duration. It looks like Speak with Animals is duration of 6 turns, and a range of 30. And how far is a range of 30?
That's 30 feet.
30 feet.
So, Speak with Animals lasts for an hour, a range of 30 feet. Predict weather is another one. Locate plant or animal. Fairy fire is you can make some people glow with fire, makes them a bit easier to shoot at and stuff. Detect danger. You'll have to read the spells, but But what we'll do is that every morning you have to let me know what spells you've what spell you've memorized. So that would also apply to Eloise and Clover.
Sleep.
So you've got sleep. Eloise, you know what spell you have?
I think I'll take spook for today.
Spook. Okay, cool. What is spook? Fusion spells.
That is a spook.
Spook. Yeah, spook. Cast a
I'm
Justice
ready for
spell.
Halloween.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that could come in handy. Yeah. Okay, so so burrowing animals. No, you don't have any, and there's no little moles or anything nearby that you can find, or badgers or anything. Clover.
I'm gonna keep trying. One day, I'm gonna find one. One day, my mammal will come.
What was that, Ada?
Why are we trying to talk to the badgers?
It's one of my special skills, and I have to be honest. When I saw that, I was like,
so if the dire wolf comes to eat you, you're going to talk to the dire wolf and say, "Please don't eat me."
"No, wolves are not burrowing mammals. That's going to be Renault that has to do that."
I want to know why the badgers are badgering us.
They're not. They're not badgering us. We don't need no stinking badgers.
We don't need no stinking badgers.
You don't need no thought control.
I love anybody who gets a WKRP reference.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
Okay, so anything else you want to investigate at this burnt farmhouse?
Where is the wolf track leading to?
Okay, good question. So you see the tracks. Obviously, they've sort of come down, and you can see a heap of tracks around the farm. Obviously, they've been covering the area a lot, both individual footprints as well as the larger wolf prints. And you see them off. I mean, they sort of lead off to the north, and then obviously the ground isn't as soft, and you lose them. But they were definitely heading in the direction where you're going to be going. Okay, so moving on.
Sorry, just quickly, because I had no idea that there would be dire wolves. Can we tell by the tracks how many there were?
No, not an indeterminate number.
All right.
Unless the druid has a special skill that I'm not aware of. Let's have a look.
Yeah, sure, let's go.
Let's double check on druids. Oh, hang on, no. Druid. Druid skills. The druids can identify all plants and animals and can discern pure water. They are good at pathfinding in the woods. Oh, you can shape it. You can shape change it at the 7th level, Renault.
That's a long ways off.
Yeah, you got quite a while to go yet before you can do that. But so Renault can definitely determine that the tracks were large wolves. I mean, they may or may not be dire wolves, but they seem to be pretty large wolves. But no, can't determine how many.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you carry on, and again, you actually find some more evidence of damage. You see, again, other smaller buildings have also been destroyed. It's a similar story. They have been largely torched and ransacked. So you continue through the woods until up in the distance you sort of see that the mountains are kind of around you. The mountains are wooded. There's you can see tall pines covering the hills, and you enter a small sort of valley surrounded by the hills and mountains. It's getting a little bit later in the day. After you've spent some time inspecting the damaged farmhouses and things, and you finally come across the village of Deeping Vale.
Hey, that's an other church than I.
Fine, tell.
Is the town basically intact, or does it look like a lot of the buildings here have been ransacked too?
No, the town is intact. Okay. Just give me a second. All right, my dogs are going nuts again. Sorry.
Yep. Or
Oh god, there's another Church of the Benevolent Eye. These people are everywhere.
Saturday thing. What took you to Vienna, Em?
It was because otherwise I didn't really have any plans for Christmas here in Oxford. Like my parents were going to come and visit from Australia, but we looked at the flights and it was going to cost about £2,000 for each of them return, which would have been about £5,000, which is about 8,000, 9,000 Australian. So my parents said, look, it's a little bit much. Why don't we come and visit after Christmas, like off peak? And they said, instead, we are going to, like, they made it my Christmas present that they would pay for flights for me to go anywhere I wanted. And they said, pick somewhere Christmassy. And I, like, Googled most Christmassy places in Europe, and, like, Vienna and Prague were, like, top.
Oh, yeah. I've been to, I've never been to Vienna, but I've been to Prague. It was, like, the 21st. I was there from, like, the 18th of December to the 21st, and this is where Christmas comes from.
Yeah.
Oh, it's stunning. So, like, when you said you went to Vienna for Christmas, I'm like, oh my god, like how amazing would that be?
It was really cool. Like all the like they're very Christmassy. So there were literally like groups of people like caroling on street corners. They had stands with eggnog and like punch like everywhere. Like you could just walk up to any like stall and there was just like you could get mulled cider and mulled wine and like boozy eggnog. Like there were probably like 10 or 11 different drinks. There were roast chestnuts, like literal chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Yeah, it was really good. Like, and they had all like the different Christmas sweets and like marzipan things. And I had this thing that was like shaped like a potato, like it looked like a potato, but the whole thing was just marzipan.
Oh god. Yeah.
Just like a giant
sweet
marzipan.
You went to Vienna to get diabetes.
I did. I'm pretty sure I actually put on weight because I just ate and drank so much, and like, you know, all the like the schnitzel and all the bratwurst, and yeah, I basically 4 days of just eating.
I'm gonna be Googling like flights to Vienna like right now as soon as we finish.
Oh, it's so worth going, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, I mean, you want to like, putting on weight this time of year? Who cares? Really, right?
If you're not putting on weight during a holiday, if you're not putting on weight during a holiday, you're not doing it right.
That's correct. That's right.
My doctor keeps saying now's the only time a doctor will ever tell me don't lose weight. So,
yeah.
What the heck?
All right, so back again after I've sorted out my dogs. Not dire wolves, but they can be a handful.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So you, as it's getting a little bit late in the day, you enter this village of Deeping Vale. You can see it's a small little village. It's again similar sort of style construction to the farmhouse. It's sort of wattle and daub with thatched roofs, small stone chimneys. You can see whiffs of smoke rising from the chimneys, so it's certainly inhabited. But you can't really, you don't, as you're entering the town, it's very quiet. It's quiet, too quiet.
Guys, is this too quiet? It feels too quiet to me. Does it feel too quiet to you? I feel like it's quiet.
I feel like this is an ambush, everyone.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I'm very uneasy about this. I don't trust quiet. I don't trust like no one's out on the streets.
Hey.
I'm not one for running to my death. So,
you're entering the town. This is the road. This is the road that passes through the town, and you can see that generally it's a lot of them are little buildings, but there seems to be what looks to be an inn, a small inn, and you can see light in the windows because it's getting towards a bit later in the day, and because the sun going down, shadows of the mountains, it can get darker here a bit earlier because of the mountains. So the lights are on inside a couple of the buildings actually, but you can definitely see some lights, and there is smoke coming out the chimneys in the inn.
Okay. I am going to listen to hear if I see any mice. Mice are burrowing mammals. This is a town. I know it's going to be annoying. Never mind. Keep going.
Well, see, the thing about burrowing animals tend to they tend to scatter when people walk by. So you have to sort of maybe sort of go away from everyone else and do
I'm going to go behind the inn wherever they throw out their garbage.
Okay.
I'm going to go to I recommend we travel up to the Church of the Benevolent Eye and talk to the head eye. To find out what's been going on and what's been happening, and to try and get some information. What I do know about religion is that they probably won't lie to you when you ask them questions. So that's my idea. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. So you're going to go and check out the church?
I'd like to go to the church to talk to the person anybody who's in there. One of the I don't know what they're called, monks, Jesuits.
So you're going to go to the church, or is anyone else going to do something else?
That's my
I
idea.
feel we should mostly stick together if this is going to be an ambush.
Have we seen anyone?
Or hear anyone?
Yeah.
Like I said, the doors are closed. You can see smoke from the chimneys. You notice you can see light through the windows, but they're kind of shuttered up.
What time is it?
It's late afternoon, approaching evening, but it gets a bit darker here because of the shadows of the mountains.
Guys, I have a really bad feeling about this.
Can I sneak up and listen at the door of the inn? Like put my ear up against it?
I think we could do that.
Yes, you can definitely do that.
I have a 2 in 6 chance of hearing.
And you can hear sort of you can definitely hear some noise in there. It's not loud noise, but you can definitely hear a little bit of noise. You can hear muffled voices.
Can I, if I actually do my gnome listening at doors, can I actually hear something specific and find out if I'm hearing people or am I hearing?
You can hear voices. You can't make out what they're saying, but you can hear voices.
Humans?
Just voices. You can't determine if they're human or not.
Are they speaking? Oh, I can't make out what they're saying.
Guys, I think the town's already been overrun by goblins.
Okay.
All right. So you listen on the to the inn. You're going to go up to the church then.
I'll follow Freyord if he wants to check out the church.
Goblins are basically evil creatures, correct?
Definitely malevolent, yeah, and
Right.
up to mischief.
So they would either have burned this church or they fear something about it. There's something about
The church is it's a little bit different construction. It's more of it's a stone building, so it's not the wattle and daub as the other construction. It's a little bit sturdier, obviously being stone, but it's still pretty it's unadorned really. It's not compared to the Benevolent Eye temple that you saw in Waybrook. This is obviously a lot more modest. Just above the door there's a bit of stone masonry. They've just chiseled out the shape of an eye above the doorway, but beyond that there's not much else. But I mean, the shape of the building, it has that sort of churchy look, but it's a lot simpler compared to the one in Waybrook.
And we
Yeah.
see
Before we continue with our adventure, I'd like to gather some type of information, if we could, on what it is we're looking at. And I don't think that the inhabitants of the church would lie to us. They're generally fairly honest people. And I had a chat with them before we decide what it is we're going to do next.
Yeah. What did you say, Eloise?
Can we, if we look through the window of the church, do we see anything? Like we sneakily look through it?
The windows they're not stained glass, but they're not. They're sort of frosted glass. But you can definitely see some light inside. So if you're going to just knock on the door.
I want to listen at the door before we knock.
You can't hear anything. Elise can see when she looked in the window. She could see some light. When you try the door, it doesn't. It's not like in the temple in town where it was open and you could walk in. The door is locked.
Is there something to knock on the door with?
Why don't half of us stay hidden and the other half knock on the door just in case?
Yeah, you could do that.
I'll go knock on the door.
Yeah, I'll hide.
Okay, so some of you sort of stand out of view from the doorway, and Freljord, you knock on the door. When you knock on the door, you definitely hear some movement inside the church, and then you hear some some noise just behind the door.
I step back from.
Yeah. And then, without the door opening, you hear a voice, and it seems like an elderly male voice, and it says, "Who is it? What do you want?"
We are travelers. We are here to. We're on an adventure. We've heard that there was some activity.
Stand back! Keep away from the door. I'm armed.
Okay, I'm back from the door. We've heard that there is some activity of goblins that we're interested in looking into, and we'd like to talk with you. And we can talk with you through the door.
You hear like a lock inside the door, sort of clicking, and then the door just creaks open just a little bit, and you can see a guy sort of looking. He goes, "Who are you?"
My name is Freyord, and I'm an adventurer.
Looks and you can see him sort of. He's kind of glancing to the left and right to see if he can see anything else. And he goes, "Well, what are you doing here? What's your business?"
This is Renault, and he wants to beat people up and take their stuff. I don't know who's with me. We are here to. We are on an adventure, and we're a group of travelers, and we heard that there was activity with goblins here. We've noticed that there's been some looting and pillaging along the way, and we would like to investigate further if we can help you if you're having trouble with the goblin.
Okay, and so the door opens a bit wider, and you can see that there is. It's an elderly man. He seems to be dressed in similar sort of garb to the people in Waybrook in the temple, but again, it's a bit more worn and a little bit grubbier, like he wears it all the time. And you can see as the door opens, as he opens up the door, you can see in his left hand, he actually is holding a mace. And he goes, and he sort of goes, how many of you are there? And you see, he hasn't opened the door all the way, sort of still sort of looking around, and he's holding the mace. And he goes, don't try any tricks with us.
Freyor puts down his shield and mace and pulls out his silver holy symbol and says, "We are not here to cause any trouble. We are just simple adventurers, and we're looking for information on the goblins who've been wreaking havoc in the local area."
And so he
You don't have to come out, and I don't have to come in. We can do this through the door.
So he sort of you can see that his tension is so he relaxes a little bit more, and he goes and you can see him. He lowers he's still holding onto his mace, but he kind of lowers it down, and he sort of pokes his head out and he looks and he can see a couple more of you standing there, and he goes, well, if you're coming to help, that's good. We are definitely need help.
What is it we can do to help? Can you tell us anything about the goblins? Is there more than just goblins, or is it just goblins and one of the travelers that are traveling with us has noticed that there are some dire wolves as well?
And so the brother goes, yes, what you've heard is true. That there are we have had of late activity with goblins. We've had some of the outlying farms have been attacked. So everyone generally stays indoors after night, locks their doors and tries to stay safe. So your timing is perfect for if you're coming to help.
How is it that this town has not been destroyed, but the other ones have?
Well, he says, we haven't had the goblins yet approach the town. We've been hearing at night. We hear the sound of wolves. Occasionally, we've heard, voices of what may be goblins. Certainly, some of the farmers who have come into the village from their farmhouses have been attacked, and they've definitely said the goblins and sometimes the goblins are riding the wolves. Have attacked the outlying villages, but they haven't been bold enough yet to actually attack the village.
I'm going to come closer and say, do you know where they are, where we might find them?
He seems that he's getting a little bit more relaxed now, and he sort of opens the door a bit more, and you can see he's quite an elderly guy. He's not wearing any armor. He's just got an old mace in his hand, sort of pretty much balding on top, very grey hair. He goes, no. Well, we assume they're coming down from the mountains. I mean, that's where the goblins normally, in the past, back in the days of the old goblin wars, they came down from the mountains. We're hoping that's not the case, but it's not the start of a new goblin war.
Is there anyone that's tracked them back into the mountains that could help us find them? Maybe.
He said, "No, we haven't ventured out. Although the people in the town are a bit worried at the moment because a group of miners from the village have not returned."
Where's the mine?
The mine is north of us. You follow the road to the north for about a bit over an hour, and you'll come to the mine where the miners work. But they would go there and work there for during the day and can walk home in the evening. And they haven't been back for a couple of days.
Well, maybe that's where we need to start, guys.
Sounds good.
Could you put us up for the night?
He goes, "Oh, you can. I'm sure if you go and talk to Eldrin and Mabel at the inn, that they should be able to put you up. I'm sure they'll be glad to have some people who know how to handle themselves in town. Definitely."
Could you come with us to introduce us?
He goes, "Yeah, okay, yeah, I can do that. My name is Brother Aldrich. I'm the local pastor for the Church of the Benevolent Eye. I support the village in its spiritual journey, and if need be, I can provide what skills I have to heal."
Would you come with us?
Come with you? Oh no,
Yes.
my adventuring days are beyond me now. I'm too old.
All
Do
right.
you have any healing potion that might be able to help us while we go face down those goblins?
That's smart.
He goes, "No, I no. I don't have any potions, but I can offer services if you are injured and you come to me. I can definitely heal you, or at least as do what I can to heal you."
That's better than nothing if we make it back.
Emphasize on the if.
So I feel like it's nighttime, right? So we probably have to.
It's
Hold
not
up.
night, but it's getting dark, definitely, because of like I said, it's getting later in the day, and the shadow of the mountains makes it darker in this valley earlier.
Unless you guys want to go ahead and we camp out in the mine, but I mean, we can try that. But then we could get ambushed and then fight without sleeping.
Do we spend the night here, or do we venture forward a little bit without quite making contact with the goblins? What do you guys want to do?
I feel like it's better we head out in the morning since the goblin would know the area better than we do, especially at night.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
I agree. All right. So should we go to the inn?
Yep.
Okay.
So, brother, if you could lead us over and introduce us.
Yeah. So Brother Aldrich, he steps out from the church, closes the door, and he pulls out a key out of his pocket, and he sort of locks the church door, and then he takes you across. Obviously, it's not a very big village, so he just takes you across the way, and he bangs on the door. "It's all right, Eldrin. It's only me, Brother Aldrich. I have some travelers with me." And you see that a little thing in the door slides open. You see a pair of eyes, looks up, and he sees it's Brother Aldrich. And then you see it shut, and then you hear again clink, clink, clink of the locks. And then the door creaks open, and immediately you get the light from inside, and you can immediately smell some food, and you see it's actually Mabel, the woman, And she sort of looks sort of takes you in as she sees you, the whole group there, and she sort of she's kind of relieved and also a bit sort of tense, but she sees, because you're all carrying weapons, so she's obviously a bit tense. And so she opens the door, and as you step in, you see her husband Edrin. He's standing there, and he's kind of got like a pitchfork, and he's just holding it in his hand. And then as you go into the inn, it's not a very large inn, not compared to the ones in Waybrook. It's definitely a lot smaller, and there's only half a dozen or so people inside, and they're essentially just sort of sitting around the tables, and they're all just looking at you because you just come in. They've all just stopped talking, and they can just, a group of 5 people, virtually all of them armed, have just walked into their inn.
6. There's 6 of us.
Yeah. And so Edrin goes, welcome. Yeah. Welcome to our home. Are you looking for a place to stay the night?
Yes, please. And food.
Yeah, well, we definitely can help you with that. Please, take a seat. And so you go in and you sit down around the table. As you see him immediately, they close the door and they lock it again. Click, and they put a piece of wood to sort of bar the door, and they go, after you sit down, you see them muttering to themselves, and they fumble around, and you see they've got a young daughter there as well, who's helping him, and she goes, "Come on, Allison, get some tankards, and you see them fumbling around, and then they come over and they put glasses of tankards of ale in front of you, and you can tell everyone is just tense. And again, the other people in the room are just quietly saying a couple of things to you, but they all kind of basically just watching you guys. Sorry, what was that, Elise?
I awkwardly smile and wave.
This is going to be Elise's signature move.
Motion to the owner and say that I would like to buy the guests here some food and drink.
Okay, all right.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So Edrin goes, that's. You can see him. He forces a smile and goes, that's great. Okay, yeah, sure. And then you go, Allison, quick, give the other guests a drink. And so they go, and then you can see obviously people start to relax a bit more as they're giving ale, and they sort of raise their tankard and go, cheers, thanks.
Freyord looks at Ada and says, "This would be a good time for you to probably sing a song. And use the word of the village in your song."
What?
The name of the village.
He just wants you to come up with a song about Deeping Vale just on the spot.
Like a happy song, not like I want to hang me song.
All right, the Ballad of Deeping Vale it is then.
Ooh.
That's my favorite thing.
Okay, so you pull out your loot. Immediately, people sort of are intrigued. It's not like a traveling troubadour comes into their village very often. A bit like the other village, but even more so because they're up in the hills. They're sort of at the end of the track. Yeah. So you're gonna perform for them.
If I must.
He's our traveling monkey. He's going to perform for us.
When do my throwing knives come out? I swear. All right, so
All right.
I warily look at everyone around this place and note the disheveled hillbilly appearance and the meager provisions and the tiny little area that they've set aside for performing. I look at my companions and Elise is waving again, awkwardly. Just like that one friend that always shows up to your concert. Hi.
Yeah.
Clover looks far too excited about this. For a group of people who are about to go off to their certain deaths, everyone looks far too happy for their own good. And I asked the audience if they have any requests, and I'm met with what dazed, glazed over looks.
Okay, so
does anyone have any requests?
we'll check something.
By the way, we did buy a mule. We have a mule with us.
No, you didn't.
I thought we did.
No, you considered it, but you didn't.
Oh, we didn't. Okay. I have it written down.
So you do your performing, and that definitely works quite well on a couple of the people in the inn, Ada. You find that you've a couple of them are actually quite enamored with your performance. And they
don't see a lot of women, half elven or not.
No, well, yeah, they definitely wouldn't see half elven bards very often in their village. But yeah, I mean, but they're actually quite fascinated with you, and they come out after you finish performing. That give very good applause, and then they come over and that was fantastic. That was great. That really helps us. That's really lifted our spirits. Thank you.
Good. Here's my Instagram handle. Here's my Twitter handle.
I would like and subscribe.
If you like, hit subscribe.
What you need to do is have like a little bell over your head and be like, hit the bell.
Follow me on Spotify.
Hashtag Ada Bard. Ada Bard.
Yeah, what are they called? Business parchments?
Hashtag hard to be a bard.
You're fantastic. Do you do children's parties?
Now we're throwing that out.
Clover could be the hype person for you. Sunday.
That's right. See you this time next week. If we don't die.
Subscribe.
So I kind of stand up and I address the crowd and I say, we are adventurers who are looking to go forward and find out what the goblins are up to, and we're interested in any information you can give us that can help us, and whatever information you give us to help us will certainly help you.
Okay. Yeah, well, definitely. They're definitely more open to you guys now that since they've had a song and you've paid for their drinks and stuff like that, and so you're actually able to sit down and start to talk to them. And the first thing they say is that things started going awry a few weeks ago. They said that to the north of the town there is a castle or manor house which is occupied by a powerful wizard, and the town is from what they tell you, the town there's two main sources of industry for the village. One is the outlying farms where there's obviously sort of dairy type cattle and so on, the usual sort of farming activities. And then the other activity is the mine. So there's been mining in these areas for generations. In fact, the castle was originally owned by a baron who got rich from the mining in the surrounding hills until the Goblin War a couple of hundred years ago. The goblins came down from the hills and sacked the castle, and then no one ever knows whatever happened to the Baron. But then for quite a long time the castle was left unoccupied until at some point a wizard entered the castle and took possession of it. And ever since then, as far as I can, in living memory, there's always been a wizard in that castle, and other wizards have come to study at this castle. And now the village supplies the castle. They used to once a week they would get a wagon would come down the road from the castle to collect food, whatever supplies. Normally it would be either the cook or one of the apprentices might be given the task to come into the village and collect the whatever they needed. And so obviously that would generate some income for the village. But they said a few weeks ago that all stopped, and they haven't heard anything from the castle since. And then not long after that, they started to get sightings of goblins, which progressively have got more and more bolder until actually some of the outlying farms have been attacked and burnt to the ground, and some people have been injured a little bit through the fires or whatever. And the most recently, we've had a group of miners who went off to mine. It's a tin mine. So that's a tin mine. Because actually in the town there's actually a workshop. That's a tinker's workshop where there's a tinker there who uses the tin from the mine to make pots and pans and other things, which are then taken by wagon down to Waybrook and elsewhere to be sold and so on. So that's another bit of income. So yeah, for a small village. So a few days ago, a couple of days ago, the miners went out and they haven't come back since. And so people are obviously worried, and so that's why everyone are staying indoors when it gets dark, and keeping all their doors locked.
Which one is closer, the castle or the mine? The mine is a bit closer. Yeah, you have to both of them are up in the hills, so you basically got to walk north of the town, of the village, for an hour or so to get to the mine or to get to the castle.
What's the name of the wizard?
The name of the wizard is... Do I have a name? I sure have a name.
Elise is really interested in this wizard and castle.
You hear wizard, and like my ears, if they could have gone up further, they would have.
Oh.
Do we know if they're
My
a good
ears.
wizard or a bad wizard?
Either way, they will have spell books and spells and knowledge.
Are you gonna wave at them?
Yes. Every
I had the names written down. Where did I put the names? Okay. Yeah. Okay. The mage is the wizard that runs the castle is called Alcar.
Alcar.
Go with a K or a C.
With a C.
Doesn't matter.
From my experience as a wizard, like would I have known of this wizard? Is he like a famous wizard?
No, you've never heard of him. No.
Okay.
But if you guys you've come from
Far away.
People
further away, yeah.
heard it because they come to study with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are lots of schools of magic.
Right. Do you know what kind of magic they do? Like, what do they do?
They don't know. They're simple folk. They go. We don't know what they do. They just buy supplies from us. We don't have. They keep to themselves. Besides the weekly wagon, we don't really have too much to do with them. All we know is that there's always been a wizard there.
Gosh, I can't imagine not being curious.
I step away from the table, walk up to the innkeeper, and say, "Is there any possibility you can supply us with some rooms free of charge or for a low rent for the night before we continue on with our adventure tomorrow?"
Eldrin goes, "Well, yeah, certainly. I mean, we're not getting much much visitors these days. If you can help rid us of this goblin problem, then definitely you can stay. You'd be most welcome."
For a breakfast, if you throw in a breakfast tomorrow, I will clean the entire place and do all the dishes.
Yeah, no, they're definitely very, very open to that.
Are you guys okay with us spending the night here?
Yeah, I can't believe you managed to get us like free accommodations. That's wicked.
Yeah.
And like in a good way, like good wicked, not bad wicked, like but like good wicked, you know.
So you're able to sort of settle down and start to talk to them a little bit more about their lives and what their villages. I mean, these are simple folk. They don't besides their farming and the status of crops and such cows in calf and.
So I'm gonna like sidle up to Mabel and just be like, all right, so I know this is gonna be a weird question. Do you have any mice? It's not a judgment thing. I have a thing I like mice.
Okay.
Sorry, what was Ada? You're putting up your hand for some reason?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that I sang my little heart out for these hillbillies for some information? We didn't get any silver. We didn't even
Free
get
lodgings.
anything.
Free lodgings.
Lodge.
Okay. There's probably a lot where the goblins are that we can take that will pay for your simple sins that you play for them.
The sound of you're talking about the meals, and then suddenly you hear a sound. You hear a howl.
Oh,
outside.
Oh, things are happening.
And suddenly everyone sort of stops, and then you hear howling again, and it's closer. It's definitely closer. And they're going, "It's the goblins! It's the goblins!" And everyone sort of stops, and they sort of tense. And Brother Aldrich is sort of holding his mace like this, and sort of they're all listening, and you can hear the howling getting closer.
do your windows open in the second floor?
I was just thinking that. Can we get on higher ground? I have throwing knives.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can run upstairs and look out the window. But I mean, yeah, these aren't big sort of open windows. These are
There are no opens.
They're the small little square windows.
Yeah, but usually would they not open?
Yeah, you can unlatch it and open it. Yeah. But yeah, it's not a big massive window. I mean,
Right.
but you can run upstairs. But yeah, the noise is getting louder, and you can also hear, in addition to some howling, you can hear some sort of high pitched shrieking and whooping and woo woo. It sounds like people making a racket. Yeah.
Do that noise again.
We have little woo-woo girls in the Goblin clan. The goblins are running down the street, like lifting their tops.
Or take out a stick of beads.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going upstairs, like here.
So I take a table, I turn it on its end, I put it by the door, I pull out my mace and my shield, and I stand ready by the door.
I'm running upstairs. So look, just like to open the window, just so I can see, so it's not obvious I'm just standing in an open window.
I think we can take them.
I think we have to take them.
Finally, it applies.
Look around to see what the villagers are doing inside the inn. What are they doing?
They're all panicking. They're all. You can see they're all really scared. And then the sound of the wolves is really it's getting closer. I mean, obviously, no one's making any sound. They're also, you can hear one of the women in the one of the visitors is kind of sobbing a little bit. She's obviously very distraught, and the owner is sort of grabbing he's got his pitchfork, and you can see his hands are sort of shaking as they know, but danger's close at hand.
Also, unfortunately, I might have to head out soon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that you hear the howling around the outside, and then you hear what sounds like a smash of glass, and then looking out the window, you suddenly can see flame.
Uh-oh.
Where?
And looking out across the road, you see that this house you can see it's actually caught on fire, and you can hear.
Can I not see any animals out there or anything?
No, it's dark now, and so you need to go out there with it. There is just outside the inn. There is a couple of torches which are illuminating this sort of immediate area, but beyond that, it's dark already.
Right, but I have infravision for 90 feet.
Yeah, but if there's lights on, infravision only works when it's total darkness.
Oh, well, that doesn't help.
Yeah. So when there's no dark, you can see in infravision. But the way infravision works is you see the shapes of people, creatures. I mean, it's kind of like almost like a like the night vision type stuff, where it's like lighter living things or warmer things are
infrared.
Predator.
They glow.
Infrared.
Yeah. It's a little bit like infrared, but it's not like they're red and blue. It's sort of like glowing and not glowing.
Okay.
But when there is an natural light source, your eyes can't work.
Okay.
But yeah, you see this house catching on fire.
All right. Well, then I'm going to run back downstairs.
Do we hear people screaming from that house?
You can hear some noise of people yelling, but also you can hear the sound of wolves, and you can hear the sounds of goblins. Goblin voices screaming, or actually, does anyone speak Goblin?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So yeah, you hear some voices, and they're sort of high pitched.
What's that?
Does anybody at the inn speak Goblin?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna run up to Freyord and be like, "Get this thing out of the way. The house is on fire across the street."
I'm going to look at the group and say, if not now, when? And I recommend we go across the street and help who's ever there. We can leave like maybe one or two people behind to look after the people at the inn, but I think that we should take this head on now.
I agree.
Agreed.
What's the point of being adventurers?
Let's do it.
We're
Not just about
adventurers,
singing songs and looking pretty.
we're not hiders, we're adventurers.
Before I head out, though, I asked the innkeeper to prepare waters to take out the flame once it's safe for them to go put out the flames.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. I think you'll probably have to deal with the goblins, and then you can try and put out the fire. Yeah. Do you have to leave now, Elise? Do you?
I have to leave soon. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's 10:00 now here. Probably a good point to before we get into the battle.
Fights. Damn it!
Goblins.
All right.
We
Can we pick up next time where we start kicking ass or getting our asses handed to us?
As now.
You kicked ass twice already, just like singing wise.
But Mom, I want to kick butt now.
Something now.
Renault is like, but I think we can take them.
I just want to stab something.
Totally take that.
I'm going to point out that Renault, suddenly I don't have confidence in your I think we can take them since you have no idea how many are there or what they are. You're just like, I heard noise, there's fire, we can take them.
I'm not saying it's rational confidence, it's just confidence. We can take
I know, but Clover was in and thought you were being rational before, and now she's like, I feel like Renault is full of shit.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
We will find out soon enough, won't we?
Okay, so we're primed.
All right, so okay, we might as well stop at that point. We'll be on a cliffhanger. Ooh. It's almost as if I planned it that way.
Episode 2 cannot be a cliffhanger.
It is. Yes, it can.
Just like the mid-season finale.
That's right. It took us 3 episodes to get through shopping in town. And then we went to every bar looking for help.
We went to some bars twice.
Yeah. Almost died in the process.
We could have taken them.
At least I got a free drink.
Yeah, that's right. And now we've been to another bar. Guess what? I feel like we all have a drinking problem.
Well, when you're in a fantasy medieval lifestyle, besides dying of dysentery, there's not much else to do but drink, is there?
You gotta drink ale, otherwise you die. Drinking the water.
Oh yeah, what are we doing for water on this journey? Never wondered.
You had water skins with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. But is the water drinkable along the way?
Well, you have a druid.
Water.
He can detect whether or not water is pure enough to drink or not.
I didn't know.
Is that a spell or is that a skill?
Yeah, here's some homework for you guys. Please read your character descriptions. So
I don't want to be the only one going, okay, I know this is the thing I keep doing, but...
Clover is obsessed with burrowing animals at the moment, but you guys all have you guys have other abilities.
I know. Well, I haven't had a chance to check for, slopes and shit like that.
Yeah.
I did try to listen at the door twice. You didn't even make me roll.
Yeah, because it wasn't something that needed a skill check.
But I wanted to hear what they were saying.
All right, then, guys. All right. Well, we'll pull it. And it's actually ending on a cliffhanger is good because that means you're more keen to actually play again very soon.
Right.
and it won't
I
be
want to
like
actually stab a goblin. Let me stab a goblin.